And welcome back to Square Off. Regina Romero could be a political star in the making. The three-term Tucson councilwoman won election last week as the first Latina and first woman to serve as mayor of Tucson. Democratic presidential candidates tweeted their congratulations. Warren, Sanders, Booker, Moore. Don't want to get too far ahead of the story here. She does have to do the job. But Roy, where could you see Regina Romero going in the future?
Well, certainly to City Hall, where she's been, right? I mean, I'm very excited about her victory. I think having the first Latina be the mayor of Tucson is long overdue, and I'm very happy that she has won, and I think she's a rising star. I've known her for a while. I think she's very smart. She's progressive, but she's pragmatic. I think she's going to do good things down there. And then who knows? I mean, if we're looking way in the future, when we have a redistricting here and seeing what happens with our congressional members, I can see something interesting happening there as well. But
Raul Grijalva's seat, perhaps? He might be retiring sometime soon?
Yep.
No, what Roy said is absolutely correct. She is, I would use the word very liberal, not progressive, but she is a rising star in the Democrat Party. There's no doubt about that. It's historic that she was a Latina elected to a major city like Tucson. Arizona should be very proud of itself that we've been able to usher that new era in. But at some point, she's going to become too liberal, even though Arizona clearly is shifting a little bit more into the purple stage. She's going to be too liberal to run statewide, so I think Grijalva's seat would be the next logical step for her.
Interesting. She endorsed Kirsten Sinema really early in Sinema's Senate bid, and Sinema returned the favor.
Well, that's a great point, because Sinema was pretty much a socialist, and now everybody thinks she's a moderate. So the pivot can be done. Sinema proved that the pivot can be done.
All right. All eyes on the U.S. Supreme Court Tuesday. The fate of the Dreamers in the hands of the 9 justices. They're going to hear the legal challenge to President Trump's order entering the Deferred Action Program that shields undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Nathan, the court's decision will likely come down in the spring. Do Republicans, during the midst of a presidential race, do Republicans want the court to throw it out or want the court to keep DACA alive in some way?
I don't know what. If I was running for office, I don't know what I would think politically about it, but I know what I think about it morally. And DACA should be the law of the land. That is something that Republicans and Democrats should be able to agree on. In most cases, these are children who came. They may be adults now, but they were children when they came. They didn't make the decision to break the law. Many of them have served in our country and given, in some cases, a severe, extreme sacrifice for this country to serve in the military. We should be honoring those folks. That should be the law of the land. And that should be a bipartisan agreement that Republicans and Democrats can reach.
But probably won't, at least based on history.
Yeah, I mean, I completely echo everything that Nathan just said. I completely agree. From a moral perspective, from an American values perspective, DACA should be the law of the land, and these people should become citizens. I mean, it shouldn't even just be about them getting status. But looking at the Supreme Court and how it is a conservative-leaning Supreme Court, now with 2 justices appointed by Trump. We've seen in the travel ban decision, which I also thought was a very poor decision by the court, them going a certain way, and I think that's probably what's going to happen here, that they'll probably try to rescind the program, or at least allow Trump to rescind the program. So I think it's sad, and it will result in human tragedy on top of human tragedies that we've already seen in the immigration arena under President Trump. All right, fearless predictions. 10 seconds, please. Roy Herrera. Oh, well, this isn't too fearless, but I think I'll just stay at the national level and say that Trump is going to get impeached.
Wow, you went out on a limb. I'm really proud of you for that one.
It's an important prediction.
There's 31 House Democrats who represent a district that Trump won by 4% or more. Those Democrats just recently went on the record for impeachment. At least half of them will lose their re-election no matter what happens. Great stuff. Roy Herrera, Nathan Sproul, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And that's our show for this week. Thanks very much to all of our guests. Thank you so much for joining us. And on this Veterans Day weekend, we salute and we thank all of our veterans for their service. See you back here next weekend for another round of Sunday Square Off.